Hey everyone and welcome. So if you're thinking about being one of the very first students to tackle the new AP Cybersecurity course, then you've absolutely come to the right place. Consider this your first official prep session, a little sneak peek to get you way ahead of the curve. So let's dive right in.
Now, everything we're talking about today, it comes straight from the source, the official AP Cybersecurity course and exam description from the College Board. This is literally the blueprint for the entire course and the exam, which is all set to launch in fall 2026. So you know the info you're getting here is straight from the official playbook.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to get a quick bird's eye view of what this course is all about. Then, and this is the fun part, we're doing a mini lesson on a super critical topic, hacking the human. After that, we'll learn to think like an attacker by spotting different attack types. And finally, we'll get into strategy, how the AP exam will test you and how you can crack it.
All right, first things first, what is this new AP Cybersecurity course? Really? Let's peel back the layers and take a look.
At its heart, AP Cybersecurity is a first-year college class. The whole goal here is to train you in the essential principles of digital defense. And think about it, this is so important. Pretty much every industry you can imagine relies on secure systems, and this course is your entry point to understanding how to protect all that vital infrastructure.
So the entire course is broken down into 5 big units. It kicks off with a general introduction to security, then it logically moves through securing physical spaces, then networks, then devices, and wraps up with protecting applications and data. And today, we're going to jump right in with a super important topic from the very beginning, Unit 1.
Let's see how this all connects. We're diving headfirst into topic 1.1, which is all about a concept that is, honestly, the foundation for so much of modern cybersecurity, social engineering, or as I like to call it, hacking the human.
So, what exactly is it? Well, social engineering is the art of using our own human psychology, our trust, our fear, our curiosity, to trick someone into breaking the security rules. It's not about hacking code. It's about hacking people to get to the crown jewels, the systems and the data.
And look, you absolutely cannot sleep on this topic. The official curriculum itself calls this the most common, most effective, and most studied attack vector in the field. And why is that? Because it's almost always easier to fool a person than it is to crack some complex piece of technology. The bottom line, you have to master this concept.
Okay, so we know what social engineering is in theory, but to really get a handle on it, you need to speak the language. The exam is going to expect you to know the difference between some very specific types of attacks. So let's build that vocabulary right now.
Okay, let's break down this chart, because this is basically the attacker's menu. Phishing is like casting a huge net, one generic email to thousands of people. Spear phishing, that's where it gets personal, using your name or your job title. Whaling is just spear phishing for the biggest fish, like a CEO. Vishing is easy. It's just voice phishing, done over the phone. Baiting uses some kind of lure, like a free USB drive left in a parking lot. And quid pro quo means this for that, like an attacker pretending to be IT and offering help in exchange for your password. Getting the difference between these? That's key.
And this diagram? Oh, this explains everything. This shows you a defense in depth model. You've got all these technical layers of security, right? Firewalls, software, encryption. But a social engineer, they don't even bother with that stuff. They go straight for the weakest link, the person operating the machine. They target the human layer, basically walking right past all your expensive digital defenses because someone held the door open for them.
Okay, theory is great, but I know what you're really thinking. How is this going to be on the test, right? So let's switch gears and talk exam strategy.
First up, the exam itself. It's a 2-hour and 10-minute test. Now, the lion's share of your grade, we're talking a massive 70%, comes from 60 multiple-choice questions. The other 30% comes from a single, big, free response question where you'll really have to analyze a complex security situation.
And here's a huge tip, probably the most important one I can give you. The College Board loves to use patterns. They build their questions around the same types of scenarios over and over again. If you can learn to spot these patterns, you're going to be golden on exam day.
All right, let's try one out. Put yourself in the hot seat. This is a classic. An email says your account's about to be suspended, you've only got 24 hours to fix it. Take a second. What's the gut feeling here? What button are they trying to push?
Okay, here's the 4-step method you should use for pretty much every question. 1, predict the answer before you even look at the choices. You see suspended and 24 hours? That's urgency. 2, Identify those keywords as your proof. 3. Slash the trash. Get rid of the answer choices that are obviously wrong. And 4. Justify your choice. Confirm that your prediction is the best fit.
All right, let's look at another classic scenario the exam loves to use. An attacker calls someone, fakes being from IT, offers help, and then asks for a password. See what's happening? This is a combo play. The phone call makes it vishing. The fake story is a technique called pretexting. And that trade, help for credentials, that's quid pro quo. Seeing how these tactics get layered together is a high-level skill.
Okay, here's one place where students always get tripped up: whaling versus spear phishing. It seems tricky, but the difference is actually really simple. Here's the one word you need to remember: target. Spear phishing can be aimed at anybody. Whaling, on the other hand, only targets the big fish: the CEO, the CFO, the top executives. And the goal is usually much bigger too, like a massive wire transfer.
All right, let's wrap up this mini lesson. What are the big takeaways? Well, you can now define social engineering and explain why it's so dangerous. You can tell the difference between the key attack types. You know how to break down realistic attack scenarios, and you've got a proven strategy for exam day. That's a huge head start on Unit 1. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to chew on. If the biggest vulnerability isn't in the code, if it's in our own psychology, what does that mean for defense? If attackers are targeting people, not just machines, what's the single most powerful human-centered defense we could possibly build? It can't be a firewall, right? Think about that. That's all for today. Good luck with your prep.